Picked up by the fullback James Sorialo on his debut. One of those players trying to press his claim for the World Cup. Picked up by Salala Mapasua. Oh, that's beautiful. To George Peacey. Mapasua's break, the awareness of where his mates were, where George Peacey was. And from absolutely nothing, Sorialo, Mapasua, Peacey, fourth Samoan try.
Well, it's totally against the run of play. They've not been in the Japan half for best part of 10 minutes. But watch Mapasua. Ball presented, ball picked up. He knows the short side is totally unguarded. Little inside pass. He knows that there's a couple of players there. George Peacey being the quicker. And they run in very comfortably. Once again, Japan caught napping. Once again, it comes from a little grubber kick through. Doesn't go to hand. Sorialo does really well. Stay on his feet, two guys paying attention. But look at Mapasua, knows that blind side is totally unprotected. Knows that Peacey's there, as is Tuafua, if he needs a big man in support. And it's a very, very comfortable try for Samoa. And that could break Japanese hearts because they've been the dominant side in the second half.
He's going to be some addition to Northampton's midfield next season. Already have John Clark and James Downey, but they tended to play more often than not last year. Jim Mallender looking for a few more options. And George Peacey looks like he's going to be a very, very canny piece of business. Now then, James Sorialo. Can he turn it into a 7-point punctuation mark? This would take them 16 points clear into the final quarter of the match. Well, all you can say about Sorialo's kicking so far is that it's been magnificent, and Samoa have got big, big daylight between them now. I'm not entirely sure what James Sorialo could have done any further to enhance his World Cup prospects here, making his debut this evening, and must have impressed the coach with the way he's settled into this side and the way his kicking has worked like clockwork.
Well, he's come into the back line. He made the final pass for the second Tuolangi try, where he caught the ball early, was under pressure and gave a lovely weighted pass to Tuolangi. He went back and covered them when there was two Japanese players coming towards him as well, and rescued the situation there. So in all facets of the game, if you take out the goal kicking, which has been very good, but take out that and look at the other aspects, he looks very comfortable.
Samoa trying to prosper from a Japanese knock-on, but Tusi Peacey nudging the ball directly into touch. Japan will have the subsequent scrum.
The problem Japan have got here now in these last 18 minutes, well, they've gone for a quick one, and it's on big time here on the left-hand side.
Enormous overlap. Oh, not sure that Ryan Nicholas went the right way there. They've got to get the ball back quickly to rescue the situation. They still might yet score. They really should have done. And have they managed to wrestle the ball over the line? Is it Takashi Kikutana, the captain, who was involved? And Keith Brown is going to have a look.
He was going to have a word with the touch judge for some reason, who's a mile away from it. I mean, he can't have a great view. The other lad's got a good view, but he hasn't.
Well, is he looking
something else?
Back at some foul play early on.
Did he? Okay.
Going back.
Well, whatever the touch judge Shui Kubu saw, it was enough for Keith Brown to take play back. So what we're seeing here is irrelevant, really. Well,
it's obviously got to be against Japan, hasn't it? What happened down the other end of the field? But Japan should have scored. I suppose in some ways it's fortuitous for them they didn't score, because they'd be even more miffed as a little bit of mystery continues, because had it been foul play, it would have been a penalty.
I assume it was a, what, forward pass or a knock-on?
Absolutely, to come back to this situation.
Anyway, Tadasuke Nishihara, who it was who was scrambling to get the ball down, is frustrated. This is Yuali Mai. Tournament final test drive really for all four teams involved. Fiji and Tonga playing today as well. All four of them taking part in the World Cup in a couple of months' time.
Samoa in an interesting group as well, I think, with South Africa will be the favourites for that group, but Wales, Fiji, Namibia and themselves, there's some winnable games there for Samoa, no question about it. And as a lot of people remember, Wales won't like this, but Fiji did beat them last time in the World Cup. It can be done. I'm not sure it'll be a glorious hot sunny day like the south of France was that day, but you never know.
Samoa opening up against Namibia in Rotorua. Yes, Samoa and Fiji. Not good for Welsh nerves when it comes to the World Cup.
No, there's a history there between Samoa and Wales, certainly, isn't there?
Ball was chipped ahead by Mai. Bounced on the Japanese 10-metre line, and Samoa get the penalty, and they're keen to get on with it. Japan, by the way, have the toughest of World Cup assignments. They've been drawn in Pool A with New Zealand, France, Canada and Tonga, who they play next weekend in this tournament. First match against the French in Auckland. John Kerwin set them the challenge of winning 2 matches, which is a stiff challenge, it would seem to me. Clearly looking at Tonga and Canada. Really? All those 2 victories. Thanks, Jamie. Years of experience led me to that conclusion.
Yeah, well, I would concur, I have to say.
Excellent. I'm glad we agree on that one.
As Samoa look to extend the scoreboard rather than you know, and give this lad a bit more. He's got a pretty good record to date, and he takes his time lining it all up. But they're going to conserve some energy, Samoa, and have a minute or 2 on the clock while Tulialu makes his next attempt at goal. Samoa are useful as long as it's not a wet, sodden day which relies on your front 5 to get somewhere near parity. They will have a chance, but their front 5 has never been famous for the tight encounters and the grind that has to happen for 80-odd minutes.
Goodness me. We've liked what we've seen of James Soyalu this evening. 6 kicks out of 7, and Samoa are beginning to pull out of sight. Not long to go, 34-15. The concern for John Kerwin is that Samoa are exactly the type of team that they're going to come up against in the World Cup, and at the moment they are struggling to deal with that physicality. Not so much in that raw one-on-one strength, but just keeping their composure and not making the mistakes when the Samoans are up in their faces. Let's see if they can be a little bit more accurate here and get themselves into a decent attacking position again. They determined to run the ball through the hands with Ryan Nicholas. Fly half Sean Webb. Beautiful ball out to Kasuki Endo. Tackle was made by George P.C. and it needed to be. Tanaka to Webb. Picked up by Usuzuki. A big challenge coming in from Tuifua. Disrupting things once again. But once again, Japan win back possession. Shorter blind side. This is the skipper, Kikutani. Fanaka. Tackle made by Filippo Levi. This is Ryo Palani, the try scorer in the first half. Just steadying the ship a little bit after they conceded those 2 early scores to Alassana Tuolangi.
Slow ball now, though, isn't it? Slow ball. They've made a mistake as well, and Samoa could go from here.
Don't think they'll need a second invitation. Mapasua hoofs the ball forward. And it was well taken in by Kasuki Endo, who might think about doing something similar himself. Off he goes. And straight into Dan Leo. Webb.
It's out.
Loose. And it's still loose. And finally Leo, well, he ought to have won it back. But then Sean Webb bounced on it. And Nashihara charged through. And in the middle of all that, there was a Japanese knock-on. And it's a match crying out for a little bit of control from one of the sides. Neither able to exert any at the moment.
Well, it was a long passage of play too, and both sides need a breather because they're out on their feet, a number of players there. It's a very, very sticky night to be playing 80 minutes of rugby. But hence why I suspect all the bench will come on. We're pretty near that stage, I suspect, and a bit of cramp coming in as well. Daniel Leo, the red scrum cap man was the man down, but the reinforcements are coming thick and fast, and Samoa are looking very comfortable now. Japan having to up the pace and take every risk and spread it wide to try and get some, not quite respectability on the scoreboard, but make it a bit closer. But they're just making too many errors at the crucial stages.
Changes in the Japanese backs as well. This is Hirotoki Onozawa winning his 61st Test cap, the most experienced Japanese player on the pitch now. He replaces the try scorer at the start of this second half, Usuzuki. Ten minutes to go. Second round next Saturday, by the way, double header in Suva.